Welcome back, student. In the previous lecture we have talked about Helmholtz equation, then we have derived the expression of wave in terms of E bar and H bar. We have calculated this E bar term as E0 e raised to minus alpha z cos of omega t minus beta z ax bar. The E bar is traveling along x direction. Then applying similar steps, we have calculated H bar. H bar is flowing along AY bar direction, and we have introduced a new term, intrinsic impedance, with a certain angle theta eta, and that theta eta we have represented in the H bar expression. So H bar expression we have got in the previous lecture as E0 upon eta, where eta is intrinsic impedance, e raised to minus alpha z, the wave is attenuating while traveling along z direction, cos of omega t minus beta z minus theta eta AY bar. These are the things which we have discussed. So from equation number 18 and 23, it is clear that wave propagates along AZ bar direction. First thing is clear. Why wave propagates along AZ bar direction? We already know that whenever there is a term known as omega t minus beta z, just look at this beta z term sign. If it is minus sign, wave is traveling in the plus z direction. If it is a plus sign, wave is traveling in the minus z direction. It's reverse. Okay. So wave travels along plus AZ bar direction. I will write it here, and declares that it decreases or attenuates in the amplitude by a factor of e raised to minus alpha z. That also we have talked about, and hence alpha is known as attenuation constant or attenuation of the medium. Okay, attenuation factor of the medium. And if it is attenuation factor, its measure is the special rate of decrease of the wave in the medium, measures in Nepers per meter. So its unit of alpha is either Nepers per meter. What is the unit? Neper per meter, or it is calculated in decibel, and 1 Neper is equal to 20 log to the base 10 E. If we just calculate 1 Neper, it will come out to be 8.686 dB. So remember this conversion factor also, this is important. And so 1 Neper is equal to 20 log to the base 10 E. So 1 Neper is 8.686 decibels. We notice that if sigma equal to 0, as in the case for the lossless medium and the free space. So this is the final expression of the wave which we have received, assuming that it's a lossy medium. Let's derive once again those expression for lossless media and free space, and let's say whatever the changes that are happening. So we'll see case 1. So the plane wave in the lossless dielectric. For the lossless dielectric, sigma is very less than omega epsilon. It may not be visible. So sigma is very less than omega epsilon. So approximately we can put sigma equal to 0, epsilon is equal to epsilon naught epsilon r, mu is equal to mu 0 and mu r. If I put sigma equal to 0, let's go back to the equations for alpha, beta, and then we'll go back here and just calculate. If I put sigma equal to 0, see in this alpha expression, if this is 0, 1 plus 0, square root of 1 is 1, 1 minus 1 will turn out to be 0, and finally alpha will be equal to 0. Okay, if I want to find the expression for beta, beta is equal to, in this expression I am going to put sigma equal to 0. So 1 plus 0 is 0, square root of 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. If this is 2, the 2 get cancelled with this 2, and beta is equal to omega under root mu epsilon. So let's go here. So this is the first case, alpha equal to 0, beta is equal to omega under root mu epsilon. This is for lossless media we are talking about, and you will get u or v. You can represent this with the velocity as v or u is equal to omega by beta. We have already talked about that, and it is also equal to 1 upon, because I can put omega as 2 pi f and beta as 2 pi by lambda. So if I can put these expressions, and we can get this final expression of velocity as 1 upon under root of mu epsilon, lambda equal to 2 pi by beta. Let's put this value of sigma equal to 0 in expression of intrinsic impedance here. If I put sigma equal to 0, j omega get cancelled, and I will get mu upon epsilon, and there is no angle associated with it. So theta eta is equal to 0, and I can say that E bar and H bar are in phase. Okay, E bar and H bar in phase. So eta, for expression of eta, is equal to under root of mu upon epsilon at an angle 0 degree. So this is the plane wave case, or the plane wave in the lossless dielectric case. So the next case we will discuss plane waves in the free space. For the free space, once again sigma equal to 0, alpha equal to 0. What about beta? Beta is equal to omega under root mu 0 epsilon 0 mu 0 epsilon 0 epsilon r. Okay, so mu 0 mu r epsilon 0 epsilon r. Since mu r and epsilon r equal to 1, we get beta as omega under root mu 0 epsilon 0, or omega upon c. Once again, what is c? C is velocity of light in free space. Earlier it was v or u. Now I have replaced this with a c, that is velocity of light in free space, and this u or c or v is can be represented as 1 upon mu 0 epsilon 0. Now in your physics, basic physics, you might be knowing c is equal to 3 into 10 raised to 8, the direct value we are taking. But from where this value is coming? This value is coming by putting the value of mu 0 and epsilon 0. What do you just take your calculators and try to calculate 1 upon under root of, put mu 0 4 pi 10 raised to minus 7, mu 0 as 4 pi 10 raised to minus 7, and epsilon 0 as 8.856 into 10 raised to minus 12. You put this and finally you will get the value of c as 3 into 10 raised to 8. You just try to solve it and you will get this final expression. So this is a plane waves in the free space. Finally, lambda equal to 2 pi by beta, which is valid for any of the cases where c is equal to 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second is the speed of light in vacuum or free space. The fact that EM wave travels in the free space at the speed of light is significant. In the free space, we say that electromagnetic waves travel with the speed of light. Plane waves in the good conductor. Now in case of a good conductor, once again the same thing. Now I am not going to repeat this. Now I am going to put sigma is very greater than omega epsilon, or sigma upon omega epsilon is tending towards infinity. Put those values or sigma equal to infinity in expression for alpha and beta and try to calculate epsilon is equal to epsilon naught, mu is equal to mu 0, mu r. If we put sigma equal to infinity, we will get almost alpha equal to beta is equal to omega mu sigma upon 2. Omega mu sigma, this is not 6, this is sigma, omega mu sigma upon 2. And if that is so, this alpha equal to beta equal to factor we got, you can put omega as 2 pi f, this 2 will get cancelled with this 2, and I am left with under root of pi f mu sigma, and u or velocity is omega by beta. You put those values, once again this thing you will get, because value of omega you can put, value of beta is already here, you put it and you will get the value of velocity or u in conductor, and lambda equal to 2 pi by beta. If I put in terms of eta, I will just explain for eta. If I put sigma as almost infinity, going towards infinity, then this term we can neglect, or this is a dominating term, we can neglect this term. So under root of j means we are having angle of 90 degree inside square root. You already know, if I want to calculate angle outside the square root, it will be 90 upon 245. So I am left with omega mu divided by sigma in case of conductor case. Okay, in case of conductor, I will get this value as omega mu upon sigma at an angle 45. This angle is outside square root. If I want to represent angle inside square root, it will be angle 90 degree inside square root, but you can take it outside and get the angle as 45 degree. Angle will be divided by 2 whenever I am talking about square root. If I will take a square, angle will be multiplied by 2. Finally, you know that if there is a 45 degree angle here, we know that theta eta is equal to 45 degree. We say that inside conductor, E bar leads H bar by 45 degrees, or H bar lags Z bar by 45 degrees, and you can write the expression for H bar from earlier equation as E0 divided by, this is eta value, omega mu by sigma e raised to minus alpha z cos of omega t minus beta z minus 45 degree AY bar. And therefore, as E bar or H bar wave travels in the conducting medium, the amplitude is attenuated by the factor of alpha. The distance delta through which the wave amplitude decreases by the factor of e raised to minus 1 or 37 degrees called skin depth. The skin depth concept is already covered in the transmission line. You just go through it, and equation for delta, see, I'll just repeat this, alpha equal to beta, you have got this value. Remember this expression, delta is equal to 1 by alpha is equal to 1 by beta. In last two examinations, we are getting one numerical on this calculation of the skin depth. So delta is equal to 1 by alpha is equal to 1 by beta, and delta I can represent, just take a reciprocal of this, so I will get 2 divided by omega mu sigma. That's it, that's the value of delta, or we call this delta as skin depth. So what is skin depth? Skin depth is nothing but the distance delta through which the wave amplitude decreases by the factor of e raised to minus 1. E raised to minus 1 means about 37% is called skin depth or penetration depth. So in this lecture, what we have gone through the wave equation, we have considered a lossy dielectric as a case, and then we have considered lossless dielectric, then plane waves in the free space as well as in the conductor as the special cases of them. This part is already covered in the lecture number 2. but we have solved this in the detail in this particular video. Okay, mathematically we tried to solve, and finally we came to the conclusion that in case of a conductor, E bar leads H bar by 45 degrees or H bar lags E bar by 45 degrees. There is a 45 degree phase shift because of this theta eta angle. We put it here and we'll get H bar as E0 upon this expression, which indicates that while traveling the wave attenuates by the factor of e raised to minus alpha z, and there is a 45 degree angle difference between H bar and E bar. So that's it from my side. So thank you very much and happy learning.